50th anniversary. Humans on the moon. We choose to go to the moon. In the mid-20th century, America and USSR locked into a race to establish superiority in the exploration of space. The Soviets have shocked the Americans by successfully launching the world's first satellites. Then in April of 1961, Russian astronaut Yuri Gagarin became the first man to complete an orbit of Earth. In May of last the same year, newly elected President John F. Kennedy announced to the world that America was going to put a man on the moon before the decade was over. It is an ambitious plan. The necessary technology didn't exist yet, but Kennedy was convinced nonetheless, if the entire nation puts its will and resources toward the goal, moon landing was achievable. Kennedy tragic assassination in 1960 assassination in 1963 means he witnessed Americans' ingenuity prevail. But on July 16, 1969, just before the end of the decade, Apollo 11 mission was about to take flight. People around the world was glued on their TV screens, hoping that the three American astronauts would safely complete the man's first trip to moon. The massive Saturn V rockets launched Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins into space. Humans were on the way to the moon's surface. On the evening of July 20, 1969, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong climbed into lunar module, codenamed Eagle. Michael Collins remains in the moon orbit aboard command module. Roughly 4 hours later, the mission control in Houston received much-awaited transmission from Neil Armstrong. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. The TV audience on Earth has no idea how close the mission had come to the disaster. Data has overloaded in landing computer, so Armstrong must do a manual landing. They come down faster than planned. That means they were off course. Instead of a smooth plane, they headed towards an area with crater and truck-sized rock. But Neil Armstrong managed to find a clear spot, and lunar lander touched down on the Sea of Tranquility. With less than 30 seconds of landing fuel left to spare. That is the triumphant end nearly the decade to work. A decade of work. The world watched the live on TV when Neil Armstrong took the small step onto the moon's surface. That represented one giant leap for mankind. This month, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of their achievements and the hoping that space exploration will continue to benefit the mankind.